Chapter 293. Yi Tian's assassination was seamless, and the battle-maniac emperor couldn't find out who killed the Golden War Emperor at all. As soon as the Golden War Emperor died, Yi Tian was completely relieved. As a result, he announced a long-term retreat. Many emperors were looking for strange things, so they had no interest in Yi Tian's retreat at all. Heavenly Pavilion. Yi Tian and the Moon Emperor had a long talk. "You I'm going to leave the Earth for a while," Yi Tian said. "Do you want to go to the world of fierce beasts to cultivate?" The Moon Emperor asked casually. "No." Yi Tian shook his head, and immediately said frankly, "I didn't enter the Earth, but I wanted to leave the Earth in the interstellar teleportation array and go to other galaxies to experience a period of time." The Moon Emperor was stunned. She didn't expect Yi Tian to enter the starry sky to practice. She was unprepared and panicked all of a sudden, not knowing what to say to persuade Yi Tian. Yi Tian felt the Moon Emperor's mood, so he hugged the Moon Emperor and said softly, "Don't worry, I will come back in 5 years at most. Our lifespan is so long, 5 years is nothing. The reason why I want to leave is because the progress on the Earth is too slow, and the Earth will soon have an opportunity against the sky. I want to take you and Xiao Yu in together, so I must have more powerful strength." As he spoke, he talked about the metaverse. After listening to Yi Tian's story, Emperor Yu reluctantly said, "I shouldn't stop you, but I really can't bear you. It's too long to go for 5 years at once." The Moon Emperor hugged Yi Tian tightly, his face full of reluctance. "You good. Only by becoming stronger can we be together forever. In the days when I'm away, you don't want to fight for those strange things, and don't inquire about the metaverse. Just cultivate here with peace of mind, and when I come back, I hope you have broken the 8th physical limit, or even the 9th physical limit." Yi Tian touched the Moon Emperor's upturned nose and pinched it. "Got it." The Moon Emperor glanced at Yi Tian, and immediately squeezed into Yi Tian's arms again, enjoying this moment of warmth. Before leaving, Yi Tian left most of the resources he had collected to the Moon Emperor, and even a part of the talent Divine Liquid was left to the Moon Emperor, leaving only some spare for himself. After everything was ready, Yi Tian was ready to break the faint film above the Earth's heavenly dome, which was the Earth's protective layer. Only God-level strength could break this layer of film and enter the starry sky. However, Yi Tian's attack power far exceeded that of ordinary God-level powerhouses, so he was also able to break this layer of film. There are a lot of emperors on the Earth who can break this layer of film. The reason why no one breaks it is that they can't stand the loneliness of the starry sky. If there are no suitable coordinates and directions, it is difficult to meet a life star in the starry sky no matter how long they fly. In that case, why leave the Earth? If Yi Tian hadn't known that there was an interstellar teleportation array on the moon, he wouldn't have left the Earth. Great ripping claw! Yi Tian turned on the God-level strength talent and God-level claw technique, and grabbed this layer of film with one claw. Tear it off! This layer of film was torn open by Yi Tian, and it was about a few meters long. Yi Tian's body moved, passed through the rift, drilled into the Earth, and came to the starry sky. Starry sky. Yi Tian was a little unaccustomed at first, because he was used to breathing air, and suddenly came to a place where there was no air, and naturally his body was a little uncomfortable, but he quickly adjusted. At his level, oxygen is not a necessity at all, not even food, and he can never eat, drink, or breathe on his own energy. Swish! Yi Tian identified the range and flew toward the moon. Soon, the moon arrived. Compared to Earth, the moon is now too small, and fragile. Standing on the moon, Yi Tian had a feeling that he was able to easily smash the entire moon. With a sweep of his divine sense, he instantly enveloped the entire moon and soon discovered the existence of the interstellar teleportation array. This interstellar teleportation array is located in an underground space deep underground. Yi Tian directly used the Earth escape talent to enter the underground space and came to the interstellar teleportation array. After checking it, he confirmed that the interstellar teleportation array was intact and connected to a number of coordinates. However, many of the coordinates have dimmed, indicating that the teleportation array over there has been damaged and cannot be teleported to that side. Yi Tian found a teleportation coordinate of the Centaur galaxy, clicked, and entered this coordinate, and then inlaid a large number of Yuan Qi stones on the interstellar teleportation array, about tens of thousands. With a thought, he opened the interstellar teleportation array. Rumble. A powerful spatial force penetrated the starry sky, enveloping Yi Tian and teleporting into another galaxy. 10 minutes later, the teleportation ended. Yi Tian only felt that his eyes lit up, and he had already appeared in another place. This is a teleportation hall, very large, and there is more than one interstellar teleportation array. As soon as Yi Tian walked out of the teleportation hall, he saw an incomparably prosperous city. In the sky, one aircraft flew in an orderly manner. Densely packed interstellar orbits connected the planet, and above the starry sky, there were many spaceships on them. The planet is so technologically advanced, Yi Tian said to himself. This planet seems to be the same as the advanced civilization planet in a science fiction movie, with many high tech that the Earth does not have, and there are many warriors on this planet. There are a bunch of emperor level, saint level, and even god level powerhouses. Because Yi Tian had just used his copying talent to shroud a radius of 100,000 li, he sensed a sun-level cultivator. How could a planet with a sun-level cultivator not have a god-level powerhouse? But this planet was destined to be just a transit point for him, and he couldn't stay here for long. Yi Tian stayed on this planet for a few days, and had a general understanding of the situation, knowing that this planet was the G26 planet of the Centaur galaxy, and there should be 7 civilization planets in the entire Centaur galaxy, and there were some god-level powerhouses, but there were not many. In terms of resources, the Centaur system is also very poor in resources, but the Centaur system has trade with some powerful galaxies, and even has a rough map of the universe. Yi Tian bought a map, studied it for a long time, and finally chose his final destination, Yin-Yu Star, one of the 9 main stars of the Milky Way. In the center of the Milky Way is a huge black hole, and around the black hole are the 9 main stars. The area of these 9 main stars is even many times larger than a star, and there are countless strong people on it. Even god-level powerhouses do not dare to be presumptuous on it. As one of the 9 main stars of the Milky Way, Yin-Yu Star is naturally a coveted cultivation holy place among countless martial artists, but not just any martial artist can enter Yin-Yu Star. It's a pity that the G26 planet is too small to be qualified to access the situation of Yin-Yu Star, and even the method of how to enter Yin-Yu Star is not clear. Thereupon, Yi Tian had only stayed on the G26 planet for a few days, and then he took the interstellar teleportation array to continuously teleport in the direction of Yin-Yu Star. After half a month, Yi Tian teleported 7 or 8 galaxies, and finally came to the Purple Illusion Galaxy. The Purple Illusion Galaxy is a relatively powerful galaxy in the Milky Way, and Yi Tian came to the main planet of the Purple Illusion Galaxy, a high-level planet world, the Purple Illusion Star. The Purple Phantom Star is very prosperous here, and god-level powerhouses can occasionally encounter it, and they do not exclude foreign god-level. It is said that it was the owner of the Purple Phantom Star who changed the rules of the Purple Phantom Star, so that the alien god level could easily enter the Purple Phantom Star. Here, Yi Tian finally learned about the situation of Yin-Yu Star, and knew how to enter Yin-Yu Star. Chapter 294. There are many ways to enter Yin-Yu Star, but there are usually 2 that are the most straightforward: genius and strong. For geniuses and strong people, Yin-Yu Star is very welcome, and you can get Yin-Yu Star's identity certificate and officially become a member of Yin-Yu Star. The so-called geniuses are divided into geniuses with high potential, but they have not yet grown up, and the strong ones refer to the strong people above the god level, which are also qualified to enter the Yin-Yu Star. But in fact, many god-level powerhouses are not willing to become a part of Yin-Yu Star, because the status of god level in Yin-Yu Star is not high, and it is far less comfortable than living on other planets. The foreign warriors who really want to squeeze into Yin-Yu Star are all geniuses, and geniuses want to achieve higher achievements before they want to enter Yin-Yu Star. And the Purple Phantom Star has a Yin-Yu Star Genius Recruitment Office, which specializes in recruiting geniuses from various planets and worlds in the galaxy. This day, Yi Tian came to the Yin-Yu Star Genius Recruitment Office. The Yin-Yu Star Genius Recruitment Office is an incomparably huge palace, and Yi Tian paid a certain fee and signed up for the genius assessment. The fee is also to eliminate some martial artists who come to participate in the assessment because of boredom. Otherwise, everyone will come to participate in the assessment, and the staff will be tired to death. 3 days later, take this sign to participate in the assessment. An Emperor-level staff member handed over a sign to Yi Tian. Yi Tian took the sign and left. 3 days later, Yi Tian came to the Yinyu Star Genius recruitment office again, took out the sign, and entered inside. In the midst of a splendid hall, many warriors gathered together. Among them there were Saint level and Emperor level, but there were none. Only those below the God level will be called the younger generation, and they are qualified to be ranked as geniuses and celestial talents, while martial artists above the God level have lost such titles. Yi Tian stood in the main hall, turned on the copying talent, and checked the talent of everyone. However, a regular force in the shadows suppressed the copying talent, compressing the enveloping range of his copying talent to a small range. 100 meters in a radius. Yi Tian frowned. The copying talent was suppressed so much. It can be seen that the formation here in the Yinyu Star Genius recruitment office is very powerful, and the power of the rules contained in it is terrifying, which is far beyond the reach of those forces in the Glory Pavilion. 100 meters is enough, Yi Tian said to himself. Wow! As soon as the copying talent was shrouded, some martial artists within 100 meters were all clearly detected. Radiant Moon level talent. Sunrise talent. Sunrise talent. The martial artists here are basically Shi-Ri level cultivation talents, and there are a small number of Hui-Wei level cultivation talents, but those Hui-Wei level cultivation talents have other special talents, such as array mage talents, alchemy talents, etc., and martial artists who really don't have any good talents will not come here with their own humiliation. Yi Tian walked around the main hall, almost looking at everyone's talents, but he didn't find any good talents, not even a single person with no superior cultivation talent. Obviously, in the galaxy, those who have no superior cultivation talent are also very rare talents, and they are not easy to see. After waiting for about half an hour, a God-level powerhouse came. Come with me. This God-level powerhouse didn't spend much, only said this, and left. The other emperors followed, and soon came to the portals one by one. There are different assessment locations here, and you have signed up for the Genius Assessment, and you must meet the Genius Assessment standards of Yinyu Star in one aspect, the God-level strongman introduced. Alchemy, formation, battle, etc., choose one of them for assessment. Of course, if any of you have a superior cultivation talent, you can be exempted from the assessment and directly enter Yinyu Star. No superior cultivation talent. Yi Tian was a little hesitant, not knowing whether to expose his lack of superior cultivation talent. But after thinking about it, he still gave up. The non-superior cultivation talent is definitely not the top in Yinyu Star, and it will not be able to attract the attention of those powerful beings if it is exposed. But the key cultivation talent is very difficult to improve. If he is tested to be a non-superior cultivation talent at this moment, and in the future, he will expose a talent that is more advanced than the non-superior cultivation talent, wouldn't it attract the attention of some powerful existences? Therefore, he must not expose his cultivation talent level. With my combat strength, it's enough to succeed in the assessment. Yi Tian said to himself. Whoa! A famous martial artist walked into the portal. Some people chose the alchemy assessment, some people chose the formation assessment, but most of the martial artists still chose the battle assessment. Yi Tian also walked toward the battle assessment. Rumble. Inside the portal is a space that resembles a starry sky. Soon, a figure suddenly appeared in front of him. This is a human-like puppet. I'm a puppet Y2364, defeat me, and you can succeed in the assessment. A mechanical voice came from the puppet's mouth. Puppet. Yi Tian was no stranger to puppets, but it was the first time he had seen an emperor level who could compete with the emperor level. The assessment begins. As soon as the words fell, the Y2364 puppet moved. Its speed was super fast, comparable to the speed of the 8-star emperor level, and it came to Yi Tian's front at an incredible speed, and slammed it with a punch. Yi Tian didn't dare to underestimate the other party's attack, and immediately teleported away. God-level strength talent. Innate knife body, legendary sword skill, breaking the sky. Yi Tian pierced through the space with a knife and slashed at the puppet. Boom! The puppet flew upside down, leaving an inch-deep scar on its body, but the body was not damaged much. Comparable to the combat power of the 8-star emperor level, Yi Tian was quite surprised. I didn't expect to be able to see puppets comparable to the 8-star emperor level here. If there are a large number of 8-star emperor level puppets on the Earth, it is enough to sweep the world. Suddenly, the puppet went berserk, and countless silk threads emerged from its body, and these silk threads even cut through the space, covering the space almost infinitely. Arcane-level defensive talent. God-level iron armor talent. Under the double layer of defense, Yi Tian stubbornly blocked this move, and immediately performed a god-level sword skill, Starry Sky Annihilation. With a knife, the starry sky shatters. The puppet's body completely shattered under the starry sky, turning into countless fragments. But soon, the countless fragments on the puppet's body healed again and turned into a complete puppet. Just as Yi Tian was about to continue the attack, the puppet spoke, "Congratulations, the assessment was successful." As soon as the words fell, Yi Tian was teleported back. "Hey, you've made it through the battle." The god-level powerhouse came to Yi Tian's side and looked at him with surprised eyes. Yi Tian also looked over, and by the way, he used the copying talent to take a look at the other party's talent. Human, Yang Peng. Cultivation talent, Dawn Sun. Strength talent, Pseudo Mystery, 60%. Defense talent, Pseudo Arcane, 70%. Speed talent, Pseudo Arcane, 60%. Formation talent, Radiant Moon. Judging from Yang Peng's talent, the other talents are really average. As a powerhouse with a Shi-Ri level cultivation talent, he doesn't even have an arcane level talent. This person should not have been well cultivated before, so he missed a good period of growth. But because he has a Huihui level formation talent and an unusual status, he can become a person in charge of the Yinyu Star Genius Recruitment Office. Yi Tian guessed. Regarding Yang Peng's answer, Yi Tian said, "It's just a fluke." "It's not a fluke," Yang Peng said. "In the past, the battle assessment only needed to face a 7-star Emperor level puppet, but now it has been changed to an 8-star Emperor level, because Yinyu Star now has too many so-called combat geniuses, and there is no need for an 8-star combat genius. You can defeat an 8-star Emperor level puppet so quickly, it should be a 9-star Emperor level. 9-star Emperor level, in Yinyu Star, is barely a genius." Yang Peng praised. Yi Tian and Yang Peng only chatted for a few words before ending the conversation. It didn't take long for the assessment of other martial artists to end. According to the last statistics, in this assessment, only 7 martial artists have obtained the qualification to enter Yinyu Star, and have obtained the identity certificate of Yinyu Star, becoming a member of Yinyu Star. 5 days later, a dedicated spaceship to the Silver Universe has set sail. "Yinyu Star, I'm here." Yi Tian sat in the spaceship, looked in the direction of Yinyu Star and muttered. Chapter 295. The spaceship that Yi Tian was riding was built by a high-tech civilization with very high technological development, and it was able to make space jumps, jumping from one galaxy to another in an instant, no slower than an ordinary interstellar teleportation array. Because of this, many powerhouses in the universe prefer to sail in spaceships rather than in teleportation arrays. However, such a spaceship is very expensive, and ordinary god-level people may not be able to afford it. Jumping again and again, a few hours later, Yi Tian and the others finally came to a spaceport outside Yinyu Star. After getting off the spaceship, Yang Peng said to Yi Tian and the others, "Yinyu Star is a pure martial arts planet, and there are no scientific and technological products on it, so spaceships and other aircraft are not allowed to enter Yinyu Star. Wait a minute, you line up to take the teleportation array of the spaceport and enter the interior of Yinyu Star. Your identity certificate needs to be handled by yourself after you enter Yinyu Star. This is your certificate, and you can handle it with this." One by one, the vouchers were sent, and there was the basic information of Yi Tian and the others on them. There are a lot of people who enter Yinyu Star. Most of them are people who are native to Yinyu Star. They can enter and exit Yinyu Star at will, even if their cultivation is a little worse and their talent is almost a little bit. Born in Yinyu Star, they are born with an advantage, and outsiders need to pay a great price if they want to become a member of Yinyu Star. After a while, one of the teleportation arrays lined up Yi Tian and a few others. According to the above arrangement, a few of you can only be teleported to the giant city. Which giant city do you choose? Time is limited, hurry up and choose. An emperor-level person in charge of the teleportation array spoke. Wow! A map appeared in front of everyone, and giant cities appeared in their sight. I choose Yangzhecheng. I choose Pengyu Giant City. A genius chose his own giant city, and it seemed that he had already inquired about it, and he didn't hesitate at all. Because each giant city has its own advantages, some giant cities are the world of alchemists, and some giant cities are the world of array mages. If an alchemist runs to a giant city dominated by array mages, then there will definitely be no good treatment. As for teleporting to other main cities, don't even think about it. If you want to ride the teleportation array inside the main city, you must be a resident of Yinyu Star. And once you become a resident of a certain giant city, you will not be treated well if you go to other giant cities. For example, buying real estate, doing business, and so on are all restricted. So, you must be cautious when choosing big city for the first time. Yi Tian didn't have any scruples, he was a combat genius, and any giant city would have no effect on him. I choose Qinfeng Giant City. Yi Tian glanced at the map and said casually. Yi Tian stood on the teleportation array, and was teleported to Qinfeng Giant City in an instant. Qinfeng Giant City. This is a huge city with a very large area, and in terms of majesty, those superbosses on Earth are far from being able to match it. In terms of population alone, there are as many as 300 million people in the Qinfeng Giant City, and most of them are martial artists, and the number of ordinary people is very small. This is the Qinfeng Giant City. Yi Tian just walked out of the teleportation hall and walked onto the street, looking at the majestic buildings around him, and sighed silently. At the same time, he was a little shocked. Yinyu Star's suppression is very powerful, and this suppression is not gravity. In fact, the gravity of Yinyu Star is only several times that of the Earth, and it stands to reason that such a huge planet cannot have such a little gravity, but this is the case. However, suppression can limit the destructive power of the strong. For example, the strong who can blow up the planet with a single blow on an ordinary planet, after entering the Yinyu Star, it may be difficult to break even a mountain. This is the suppression of the planet. Obviously, Yinyu Star's suppression has reached such a level. This is a good thing. If there is no suppression at all, the Emperor-level powerhouse destroys the land of millions of miles with one blow. Then countless Emperor-level powerhouses, God-level powerhouses, and even true God-level powerhouses live here. Wouldn't it be easy to blow up Yinyu Star? It is precisely because of the consideration of the battle of the strong that a main star like Yinyu Star will form such a suppression, which can be regarded as the protection of itself. Although the suppression was powerful, the concentration of Yinyu Xing's Yuan Qi was very high, more than 10 times that of the Earth. Cultivating in such an environment will naturally lead to a very fast cultivation speed. Let's go get an ID first. When Yi Tian came out of the teleportation hall just now, he inquired from the guards about the location of the institution that handled the identity certificate. Not long after, Yi Tian came to the resident card office that specializes in identity certificates, took out his vouchers, and quickly handled the identity certificate and an identity card. At this point, Yi Tian has officially settled in Yinyu Star and has become a part of Yinyu Star. In the next few days, Yi Tian mainly understood the simple situation of Yinyu Star, as well as the basic situation of Qinfeng City. Yinyu Star is very large and unimaginably large, but it is roughly divided into 9 supercontinents, countless small continents, and countless islands, and the area of those islands in the Milky Way galaxy can also be compared to some planetary worlds. And Qinfeng Giant City was in the Heavenly War Continent, one of the 9 supercontinents, and the Heavenly War Continent had 18 main cities, 72 giant cities, and countless ordinary big cities. Qinfeng Giant City is one of the 72 giant cities, and its status in the Heavenly War Continent is not low, but in the entire Yinyu Star, Qinfeng Giant City is nothing. But even so, Yi Tian didn't dare to underestimate Qinfeng's main city, and even maintained his awe. Because from the information he simply learned, it was said that the God level did not dare to be arrogant in the Qinfeng Giant City, because the God level powerhouse could only have a small place in the Qinfeng Giant City, and the true God-level powerhouse could become the powerhouse of the Qinfeng Giant City, and the Qinfeng Giant City had an existence beyond the true God level. For example, the city lord of Qinfeng Giant City is a powerhouse who has surpassed the true God level. The Emperor level is really nothing in the Qinfeng Giant City. Even the 9-star Emperor level is only worshipped by ordinary martial artists, but it is not very important in the eyes of those real powerhouses. But the Emperor-level powerhouse is different. Every Emperor-level powerhouse is regarded as Tianzhao, but whether Qin Fengcheng has an emperor-level Tianzhao, Yi Tian doesn't know. He has only been here for a few days, so naturally he can't ask much information. There are a lot of true god-level powerhouses in Qin Feng Giant City, and every true god-level powerhouse must be a non-superior cultivation talent. And I am also a non-level cultivation talent now. If I copy 2 more non-level cultivation talents, it should be enough to raise my cultivation talent to a higher level. Thinking of the cultivation talent above the superior, Yi Tian became a little excited. If he was on Earth, he would definitely not have the slightest chance to improve his levelless cultivation talent, but in a place like Yinyu Star, if he had a copy talent, he would be able to swim in water. This is the treasure of his dreams. However, it was not so easy for him to copy his talent. On Earth, his copy talent could cover a radius of 100,000 meters, but on Yinyu Star, a powerful force of rules suppressed his copy talent. Today, his copy talent can only cover a radius of 100 meters, and he can only slowly look at other people's talents. However, he believed that he would soon be able to replicate the 2 non-superior cultivation talents and transform his cultivation talents. Let's go to the trading tower first. Qin Feng Giant City had many trading towers, and the area where Yi Tian lived now also had a trading tower. The trading tower is a place for people to trade and post quests to receive tasks. Even god-level powerhouses will come to the trading tower to trade things and post quests. Yi Tian's purpose for Yinyu Star was not only to copy talent, but also to cultivate. He had to break more physical limits within 5 years, so he still needed some external objects to assist in his cultivation. And the trading tower definitely has what he needs. Chapter 296. Trading Tower. Yi Tian came here and saw a large number of martial artists shuttling here. I have to say that it is very prosperous and lively. There are many shops and stall holders in the trading tower, and all kinds of treasures are sold here. For example, all kinds of strange fires and attribute treasures, trading towers have them. But Yi Tian only looked at it for a while, and then he found that he couldn't afford it. That's right, just can't afford it. Before, in order to hit the 10th physical limit and the 11th physical limit, he almost exhausted the Yuan Qi stone, and many resources were also used up. When he left the Earth, he left some treasures on his body to the Moon Emperor, and only brought a little thing out of his own body. So, he's poor now. The universal currency of the galaxy is the star point, and the value of 1 star point is almost equal to a Yuan Qi stone. Of course, there are some currencies that are much smaller than the star point, but they are basically circulated within the planet. And one of the 9 main stars of the Yinyu Star Stone Milky Way, the currency in circulation on it is naturally a star. Yi Tian carefully calculated, the treasures he didn't need now were only 100,000 star points at most. A poor word runs through his current situation. It seems that you have to make money, otherwise it will be difficult to improve your cultivation quickly. Yi Tian pondered. You can't buy things, so Yi Tian began to explore other people's talents, trying to find 1 or 2 good talents. However, the levelless cultivation talent is not an ordinary talent, and after looking around, I didn't find a single levelless cultivation talent, but the Shiri level cultivators found a lot. Although Qinfeng Giant City does not have technology products, it does have Yuanli Network, which is not considered a technology product. The hotel where Yi Tian lives now also has the Yuanli Network, so after he went back, he checked it on the internet. How can I earn star points in the shortest amount of time? Suddenly, one suggestion after another came out. Yi Tian looked at them one by one, very carefully. There are those who are established to hunt fierce beasts, because there is also a fierce beast clan on Yinyu Star, which is the local fierce beast of Yinyu Star, but these fierce beasts are not the opponents of human beings at all. If it were not for human beings who deliberately kept these fierce beasts to temper their martial artists, they would have been erased a long time ago. Ordinary fierce beasts are not valuable, but god-level fierce beasts are very valuable. God-level fierce beasts are full of treasures. The fur of god-level fierce beasts can be made into clothes, and the defense is very high. The bones of god-level fierce beasts can be made into weapons, such as Morningstar weapons, Huiwi level weapons, and even some god-level fierce beast bones can be made into sun-level weapons, and the blood of god-level fierce beasts can also quench the body of the emperor level, which is a very good auxiliary cultivation treasure. On the Earth, when Yu Tian's cultivation was low, he used the blood of the fierce beast to refine his body, But after reaching the Emperor level, he didn't need this method, because the effect of the Emperor level Fierce Beast Blood was very low, and the God level Fierce Beast Blood did not have it, so he gave up this means of improving his cultivation. But obviously, there is a lot of God level Fierce Beast Blood on Yinyu Star. But this method is not suitable for Yi Tian, because it is too slow. There are also some suggestions to pick up a task, and once you complete a difficult task, the reward is also very generous. But Yi Tian also gave up this method, mainly because some tasks were too long. He only had less than 5 years to go, and he had to improve his cultivation to a few small levels within 5 years. After reading the plans one by one, there was finally a suggestion that caught Yi Tian's attention: Combat Tower. The tower is a place for people to challenge, and it is also a good place to earn stars, but if you are not careful, you will lose your fortune. The battle tower randomly arranges an opponent. If you defeat the opponent, you can get a certain number of star points, and the star points are paid by the opponent. The more consecutive wins, the more star points you get. If you continue to win, the star points earned are enough to be an astronomical amount. But in fact, it is impossible, because if one person is really invincible, others can choose not to fight, then there is no way to continue to challenge and get star points. The battle tower is very suitable for me. I am a newcomer. I should be able to win many consecutive games in the early stage and get some star points. Yi Tian thought to himself. Immediately, after searching a lot of information about the combat tower, and after learning enough about the combat tower, he went to a nearby combat tower and purchased a virtual world helmet. Because the battle tower challenge is carried out in the virtual world, and the virtual world of Yinyu Star is more complete than the Earth, the virtual world is just like the real world. Hotel. Yi Tian put on the virtual world helmet, and his soul consciousness entered the virtual world. The next step is to sign up for an account. And Yi Tian still used his title on the Earth, the Emperor of 10,000 Laws. After filling in some basic information, he chose to apply for the Emperor level Combat Power Challenge. Character: Emperor of 10,000 Laws. Record: 0 wins and 0 defeats. The first challenge is about to begin, and the characters are chosen at random. Ding! Pick a naughty little demon girl, waiting for the other party's consent. And the record of the naughty little demon girl was also transmitted to Yi Tian's side. Character: Naughty little demon girl. Record: 10 wins and 0 defeats. Hey, it's a newcomer, that's right. I'm a newcomer, so it's impossible for me to have a good record in the first fight. Yi Tian thought, but what he doesn't know is that a newcomer who can win 10 games and 10 wins is not a simple newcomer, otherwise he will not be able to win 10 consecutive games. Jinfeng Giant City, somewhere. A sweet-looking woman senses the call of the virtual world and logs in online. If you don't log in online within 10 minutes, you will automatically give up the challenge, and there will be no punishment, and many martial artists must be very busy and often unable to enter the virtual world, which is a very normal situation. Bite. The woman goes online and finds a random challenge message. The Emperor of 10,000 Laws. What a big tone. Dare to be named the Emperor of Heaven. 0 wins and 0 defeats. It turned out to be a newcomer. No wonder he was so arrogant. HMPH, with your title, sooner or later you will be targeted, and you will lose all your stars, so you have to delete your number. The woman agreed with the idea of teaching the other party a lesson. Actually, this number is also a small number of hers, and it is very good to abuse newcomers when she is fine. The naughty little demon girl has agreed to your random challenge, and the challenge is about to begin. A voice echoed in Yi Tian's ears. 10 seconds later, in an uproar, Yi Tian was teleported to a desert, and a figure appeared not far away, a beautiful woman with a very good figure. The challenge begins. As soon as the words fell, the naughty little demon girl rushed over, super fast, and a sword in her hand seemed to penetrate the space. It's a swordsman. Space confinement. Rumble. The surrounding space was imprisoned by Yi Tian, and a strong pressure acted on the naughty little demon girl's body. Then, Yi Tian also went all out. God-level strength talent. Innate knife body. Speed talent. Arcane-level defensive talent. God-level iron armor talent. God-level claw technique. Great tearing divine claw. A lot of talent is on display. Swish! The great tearing claw grabbed it, as if grasping a piece of space in front of him. 9-star Emperor level. The naughty little demon girl was shocked. Isn't this a newcomer? How can it be a 9-star emperor? In Qinfeng Giant City, although the 9-star emperor level is nothing, it is not common. Among the emperor level, the 9-star emperor level definitely belongs to the top combat power, so the emperor is haunted, and the emperor level Tianzhao is too rare. She originally wanted to bully the newcomer and educate the other party, but she didn't expect to run into a 9-star emperor. She is only an 8-star emperor level, how can she beat the other party? Oh my god, I've won 10 in a row. The naughty little demon girl yelled in despair.